What is good, you guys? Welcome back to another Invincible Guardians of the Globe video. And today we're going to be doing a quick video. I was literally laying in bed. This notification popped up and I said, whoop, gotta get up. Um, Patch 3 is here. Patch 3 will be adding two new elite heroes that will be coming soon. Thrag and Thetis. We're gonna also be getting today two new common characters. Lizard League Foot Soldiers. I'm excited to see that. I'm hoping one's an attacker and one's a support, or at least both are supports maybe. New case files. That's what I'm most excited for. Um, and then there's a whole bunch of rework changes. So a whole bunch of skills have been changed. The way skills interact with each other visually have been changed. Totems have been changed to now correspond, I guess, more with the person's health and attack and defense and all that stuff to make them, I guess, more accurate, which I think is pretty cool. But most importantly, we got to get to these balance changes. And speaking of balance changes, we got a change for battle based. And it says here, now he is truly battle beast. His stats are now more closer to Omni-Man's level. His abilities were adjusted, increased his main ability, capability, and at all levels. So his max HP, or I guess base HP, has been increased from 3,903 to 4,394. His attack was increased from 2,785 to 2,848. His defense was increased from 703 to 725. Physical attack was boosted by 1% from 114 to 115. Energy attack boosted by 1% from 103 to 104. His main ability has gotten a +1 for all levels, I believe. So I guess either that means each level it got a +1, or when maxed out it has a +1. He got some new synergy with his tag from his tag with Coalition. And this one is interesting to me, especially with the fact that I run Thraxen armor on my Battle Beast. Because Thraxen armor doesn't actually heal, it just protects. And that's why I think this one will be interesting, is because for every 5% that Battle Beast is missing on health, he gets an 8% attack boost. So that's a huge attack boost. So if you got a Battle Beast that's really wounded and he's at like 45% health missing, that's a very, very big deal damaging Battle Beast. Also, he will now be switching targets more consistently every 7 seconds, which is, I guess, pretty cool to spread out that damage. Shrinking Ray is getting a big, big change. This is going to be very impactful for a Shrinking Ray. Her defense reduction, and I think this is actually defense increase. That when she increases her team's defense, I'm pretty sure this is from 45% to 55%, so a whole 10% jump. And then her increase to attack is going up from 55 to 65. This is going to be a big change for her, especially in those niche teams where people use her, Monster Girl, Immortal, with like Donald and Cecil. You're going to see a lot more stuff like that now. Rex has been given a huge buff, going from basically 100% buff in damage, going from 150% to 230%. That's an 80% increase. That's a huge increase. And then his burn damage is going from 100 to 150 max. So these are two huge buffs for him. Powerplex got a miniature W in a 5% booster It's nothing crazy, but it definitely is going to help my training gain team because I know, as you know, I use Powerplex and the Mauler twins for my training gain. So this is going to give my team a little bit more extra waves. So I'm excited with that. I'll take that. Omni Man was given a change to his passive, so he will no longer, I guess, be having life leech. But now what he will do is he will have a defense of 4%, I guess at max level. And this will stack up to 4 times. Um, with each action. So I have to see what action is it talking about? Is this like every kill, every time a ally dies? I need to see what this action is. But in other words, he's going to be able to get a 40% defense increase basically at max potential. Um Monster Girl got a rework and her main skill, her life leech and her main skill was bumped from 25 to 40. So she might be a little bit more usable now, but I'm not sure how much. Maybe with a shrinking rate buff, maybe this is making her more usable, but not sure yet. Um, Lucan, huge change for Lucan. Lucan should now be stronger. Changes some mirror balance changes, reworks with his passive to do true damage instead, and now he should be more close to what a Viltrumite strength should look like. His main ability has a went from a 4 to a 5 slap. So instead of, I think he did, I guess it's 4 meters he did with the slap. Now it's gonna be 5 meters he does with the slap. So I think they're gonna travel further. Um, and instead of his damage being normal damage, it's gonna be true damage, which we know true damage is devastating because we look at Blue Sumark, and 30% true damage is pretty much what Blue Sumark has. So Lucan might be an absolute problem right now, thanks to this. So I know Avatar Struv is singing Lucan's praises right now. He is thanking everybody that made him build Lucan's. um, and his immediate death on impact will now target the character with the lowest HP at the current moment instead of targeting the character with the lowest defense, which is going to be much better for him because now he's actually going to probably take out somebody when he dies, which kind of makes sense. Invincible was definitely given a slight buff because now this is going to make him play well with the planet Coalition of Planets teams once again, and see the little theme they're doing here with the Coalition of Planets, giving all the Coalition Planet guys a buff. Makes pretty good sense to me. Um, so he's basically going to be getting a buff there. You're going to be seeing his attack power increase when fighting alongside a Coalition Planet member, and that's very simple. So that means if you just use an Omni-Man and Alan together, Omni-Man Alan. If you use an Invincible and an Omni-Man together, he's getting the buff. If you use an Invincible and a Battle Beast together, he's getting the buff. If you use an Invincible and Alan or Invincible Space Racer, this is going to be pretty good for them. Green Ghost got a slight rework. I do think they could have probably power scaled this a little bit more. She would now stun her targets, and during the stun, the cooldown time went from 23 seconds to 21 seconds. I think they could have probably dropped it to 20, if not 19. And then her healing went from healing over time by 20% to healing over time by 22%. Not that drastic of a difference. I honestly think they could have once again power scaled this a little bit more, maybe made it to 25% because she's just really lackluster. But it is what it is. Same kind of goes for Darkwing 2. I think he could have used an entire overhaul changing of his kits, but they basically just gave him more damage to try to, I guess, make him a little bit more tempting to use. Now, Angstrom got a huge W rework in my opinion. it was only a one skill change, but this is such a huge change. His skill that he normally has that gives his team a 20% random status effect added is now going to also add a random status effect to the enemies. And that random status effect is going to last for 10 seconds. And it's going to be a random debuff. So it could be bleed, it can be burn, it can be defense reduction, it could be something like that. So that's going to be insane. And this actually gives Angstrom a very real reason to probably be used in some teams like Mauler teams and criminal teams. This is actually like such a big change for him. This is going to make him a lot more attractive to use. And then the other stuff here is really just minor bug fixes and stuff, things that you probably don't even know. Majority of these that I went over, I've never even seen them, so I have no idea what they even are. So if you want to look at them, I'm gonna leave them up on screen. But yeah, I haven't had any of these happen to me. If you had them happen to you, they're fixed now. So hooray for that. Overall, I think this entire update is a W. Um, Only two real complaints with the Darkwing and the Green Ghost. I think they could have definitely power scaled those a little bit better. But hey, slight buff is still a buff. No nerfs from what it looked like. And then last but not least, there is a code at the end of this. Another new code. So go put that code in, get your reward. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. I can't wait to sink our teeth into this update. I'm really excited for the case files. That's really what I've been waiting for. I'm hoping we got a universal case file. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for all the love and support you've been giving me. We've been growing like crazy recently. And it's been absolutely amazing. If this is your first time catching one of my videos, hi, my name is Kingsley. I post content daily on TikTok. I'm constantly live on TikTok. I go live every single night around anywhere from 11 p.m. UK time, maybe sometimes 10 p.m. UK time, and that over here in the US will be about 7 p.m. to maybe 8:30 p.m. is usually around the time I go live, and we're usually live to like 1:12. And we have a lot of fun over there. We have a ton of fun on TikTok. I'm also every time I'm live, I'm dual streaming, so I'm live on TikTok and Twitch. And yeah, we have a ton of fun. I am gonna try to be posting more videos consistently on YouTube, and I am gonna try to use my Twitch as more of a platform to do other things outside of Invincible to give a free, like a nice refresher. So if you're interested in any of that, go check me out. Once again, on all my handles, all my platforms, my handle is Kingslay727. And once again, if this is your first time watching my video, welcome to the community, welcome to my channel. And if you enjoy this content and this content helped you, please hit that follow button and that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much once again for all this love and support you guys have given me. And I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Peace. So the video was supposed to be over, but the update is live. So I thought, why not at least add this at the end of it so you guys can see it. So yeah. I want to see. Yes. Yes. I'm pretty sure we all have seen this like a bajillion times, so I'm going to skip that. And I am excited to see this. Are the foot soldiers in the game? Yes, they are. They're in the game. Look at them. Look at them. So I guess they both are attackers. Yeah, they both are attackers. I was kind of hoping that one would be an attacker and one would be a support, but okay, that's cool. They're both attackers. That's fine. They're medium speed, ranged, criminal, And they actually have a lot of tags. They have Malefactor, Lizard League, Grounded, Ranged, Human, and Armed. And their ability is assist the leader. The machine gun goes out of control, firing in all directions, and deals 150 attack, 150% of their attack as damage to all enemies on the battlefield. It also applies a wound to 100, equal to 100% of the total damage dealt for 5 seconds. That's actually not a bad ability, especially that it hits everyone. And I'm pretty sure they both are sharing the same ability. And it's really odd to see two characters that are the exact same. But with different abilities. Like, cause the Reaniman, like this one is that ability, right? But then this Reaniman has a different ability. So it's very interesting to see them have the same ability. But yeah, that is the Lizard League members right there. And I think it's pretty cool, even though, most people, no one really builds common characters. But I guess it's pretty cool to just have some criminal common characters. And I think now every faction has a common character. Because World Beyond has the Flaxen guys. Criminals have... Well, I guess Criminals always had one because the Magnemites were there. I wonder if this means that there's a chance we can get Viltrumite Reaniman as a common or maybe a rare. That would be pretty cool. And then I want to see who was added. Ooh. So it wasn't a misdirection. Seance Dog has been added to the case files. That's interesting. So, okay, that's a little weird though. Oh. He was added, but he's giving you like a ton of chances to get copies of him. Oh, that's awesome. Retrospect you cannot get here at all unless you are a whale, but that's pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool. I'm a little sad that he's the only one we got, but that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. That is definitely pretty cool. That's going to give so many people the actual ability to even get him. So that's actually pretty cool. And I guess now we can actually look at some of these changes. So, is it this one? Yep. So now at level 5, it will increase that power when fighting alongside coalition members. And if you get this all the way to 10, it's going to go up to it's going to go up to 10%, and then if you get it all the way to 15, it's going to go up to 15. Okay, so that actually makes it a little more reason to want to build that ability. I want to see the Nolan one. So it's not this one. So it's not his life leech one. So then is it this one? No, it's not this one either. Can't be his gut punch. Which one is it then? Oh, it is this one. Okay, it is this one. So, level 5 increases Omni-Man's defense by 0. But this one doesn't say anything about coalition, though. I thought it was when he had coalition members. Okay, so that one might not be as impactful. The Omni-Man one might not be as impactful then. Because from what I'm seeing here, it is not impactful at all. Okay, so the Omni-Man one might not be impactful. Battle Beast, I did want to see this one. So he has a total of 3 claw slashes. So 5. And then from level 5, so 7 goes up to 4. 10 goes up to 6. So it stays at 6 claw flashes. Okay, that's pretty cool. And then this is the one that I think is gonna have the coalition one. Yes, at 7, he now has the coalition thing. When fighting alongside coalition of the planet, he gains a 2% attack boost for every 5% life lost. And then you have to get this, I'm guessing, to 15 to get that 8%. That 8% is gonna be absolutely devastation. That's gonna make Battle Beast really a Battle Beast for real, for real. And the extra 20 life leech is definitely gonna help him against the Viltrumites. So that's actually a really good ability. That's gonna actually make Battle Beast very usable. So quite excited for that. The Powerplex change here. Yeah, very simple. Angstrom. I want to see the Angstrom one. Right here. So you got to get to level 5 to get the debuff part, which isn't a bad investment. And it starts you at 8% off rip. So this is actually pretty worth to take to level 10 now. And if you are going to take it all the way to level 15, that's huge. Because a 40, that's actually huge. That might have made Angstrom really good. Same thing goes for like his Mauler synergy. I might actually really invest in my Angstrom for my Mauler team, and it might benefit now, even like super heavy. That's really cool. And then Lucan, I want to see this true damage change. Is it not this one? Which one is it? Which one is this true damage change? This is just the defense stuff. Is it this one that was turned to true damage? Yes, this one was turned into true damage. And you have to get it all the way to level 15 to get that 30% true damage. But that's cool. Fighting on the end, to the end. This is when he dies, he slams himself into the ground. That's cool. Okay. And then Shrinking Ray, I want to see this one. So this ability here, she increases the defense by 15% for all the members in this. Oh, and this is against the Lizard League too. Okay, what about this one? Nothing there. This is the one that increases the attack. Yeah, that's a big attack boost. Okay, that's a big attack boost. That is a big attack boost jump. Okay, I see what they did there. And then Rex. Okay, so they're actually doing something against these Lizard Leagues too. That's cool. That's cool. That's actually pretty cool. Like I said, this might actually convince me to build my my Angstrom Levy. So, you know what? Did they add another chapter of story mode? I don't think they did. No, they did not. So that's fine. Minor update, minor changes, but you know what? Overall W. Overall W. That was pretty cool. That was actually pretty cool. But that's gonna be all for this one. Thank you guys for all the love and support. I'm gonna catch you guys. Peace.